Hey everyone, Snoo back again. Man, do I have a surprise for you today. I was just rolling some maps and some watchstones, and the stars have aligned. And I got to show you what's going on here. The surprise video is not one that I was planning to make, but I knew in the event that a certain sequence of things occurred, I would probably make a video doing this. I got a sort of insane amount of juice going on here for a 16 map session. I do like doing the 16 map sessions as the elevated sextants match up really well with that. Let me show you these maps I got here. Over a period of time of many days, a few weeks maybe, I have managed to roll myself some maps just like the ones you see here. Now take a look at these maps real quickly. What you'll notice right off the bat is that they're extremely high pack size. They are a minimum of 39% monster pack size, which means they are 8 modded maps, 4 prefixes, 4 suffixes, and take a look. One of the affixes is Nemesis, which means I can run Nemesis 3 on these if I want to. Now I've found a lot of maps like this and rolled a lot of maps like this, and sometimes I just run them like normal or I'll scourge them actually. In the past I've scourged these a lot, but you know, especially after running the recent test, if you saw any of my other videos, you saw I ran tests on sort of default versus Nemesis 3 with a Deli orb versus Nemesis 3 with a Deli orb and scourging the maps, and what I came to find is that even it didn't really matter what the map roll was. It just never really seemed worth it to do anything other than just sort of default level of juicing and going for nurse cards and stuff. So Nemesis 3, it just didn't really pan out very well in conjunction with magic finding on the tower. But I think I might have a setup here where it actually does pan out to be a good decision. Because instead of having pre-rolled maps at around the 30% pack size range, 6 modded maps, 3 prefix, 3 suffixes, around 30% pack size with Nemesis, throw a Deli orb on there, and do Alva mission, the whole works, Nemesis 3. Instead of doing that, I'm gonna do it a different way. I got the super high pack size with Nemesis rolled on them. Now I know what you might be thinking is that, well, I can't put a Deli orb on this, right? Because it's corrupted, and you can't put a Deli orb on it, pre-corrupt it, and then decide to val it, and then pray that you hit Nemesis 8 modded map or unidentified or whatever. You would lose a lot of money doing that, trying to hit that. Rest assured, I haven't even tried to do it, but I'm smart enough to know I would lose a lot of money trying to do that. So what you have to do is you have to just go ahead and wait for the opportunity like this, and then have in your possession areas contain a Mirror of Delirium. So instead of running a Deli orb, we're just gonna go straight gangster on it. We're just gonna roll an actual Deli mirror onto it and try to complete the map in time with the sort of mega juice situation. It's actually going to be quite challenging, especially on the tower. It's very difficult to clear a full tower, especially both regular and Scourge realms, all the realms, the Deli realm, the Scourge realm, and the regular realm, to manage to clear a whole tower. That I can barely even do it, and that's without having to mess with Alva incursions and stuff. So I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. And yeah, so this is the stars aligning. What I meant by that is, so long story short, a good while ago I decided I had sort of pre-planned this strategy in my head for if and when the stars aligned. What I started doing is, instead of running these maps, I decided to save them. I held them back and I saved them, and I recommend you guys do the same if you're also doing a ton of tower farming as I am, and you want to try kind of alternative strategies whenever the opportunity raises up for that. I saved these maps up, and I was already rolling some of my own watchstones, and about a week ago I rolled this watchstone called Booming Populace. Now I was selling, normally I was selling stuff like this, I've sold a Nemesis 4 booming Populace. I sold 2 of them, one for 18x and one for 20x. The 20x one a couple days ago. But for this one, I was like, now this is what I need. I need this because I'm going to run this with those maps. So I saved this Watchstone back. But that's not all I need. I also need, a bunch of Nemesis 3 rolls or something like that. And I had also had this one rolled as well. And I knew that, and I know that Abyss is arguably the single best mechanic, sort of Scarab game mechanic that you can use to juice your map up for Nemesis 3, because it not only gives you lots of rare monsters just automatically, but it gives you lots of beyond in the nature of how Abyss works. So I was like, okay, I'm going to save the Abyss Watchstone 2. So that's 2. I got 2. Now, obviously, I need Nemesis is the other big one I need. And voila. I hit it. Right here. When I'm doing regular juicing strategies, I typically elevate sextant, even my magic watchstones. And that's because it's more convenient. Mainly, that's why. I know it's more expensive, but I don't have to constantly remember to swap out the watchstones or re-roll in the middle of doing my sessions. I don't have to do with that, and I actually think I save money effectively by the amount of time and convenience and never forgetting to swap everything out. So I figured someday I would slam this in, and I usually only put one. It usually only takes 1 or maybe 2 tries to hit something useful in the regular. By useful, I mean it could be anything that puts monsters on the map. I'll keep it and I'll run it. So I was getting ready to do the next set, and 1 elevated sextant, boom. Nemesis monsters drop 4 additional basic currency items. I was like, aha, I've done it. I was like, now I got it. I got exactly what I need to run all 16 of these super juiced rare 8 modded maps with the Deli Orb, with the Nemesis, and with the Abyss. And you know what? I decided I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to buy some Misinformations. I might as well, because it does kind of warrant it with this much going for me. I went ahead and did that, and I gotta say, I wish I had Beyond rolled as the 4th sextant. I think it's a pretty clear-cut case that the best 4 sextants I could probably run in this scenario are these 3 and Beyond. I tried rolling Beyond in there, but I didn't want to blow all my Awakened Sextant on it. There's actually, I've actually decided there's 3 potential sextants I'll accept for the 4th roll. This one, unique monsters drop corrupted items, or Beyond. Beyond would be the best one, but those are the 4 that I would or the 3 possibilities I would accept. And yeah, so I also have Scarabs here. The first thing that went through my mind is, okay, I'm just going to run Gilded Ambush, Gilded Divination like I always did. But then I got to thinking, no, wait a minute, what's the cost of Gilded Ambush Scarab? Is that cheap? Oh, wow, only 40 chaos apiece. That's actually kind of cheap. It's not bad for 4 additional strong boxes with the Atlas nodes. All right, I'll do that. Now, if I'm running 4 additional strong boxes on top of my usual 5, and I have this sextant right here, and it's like mega juicing on top of everything else, maybe I should run a Winged Divination Scarab. But now I know they're really expensive, right? 100 chaos a piece now. But I mulled it over and I decided, I think so. I mean, if ever there was an opportunity or a justification to do it, I think now's a good justification. Because I'm going ahead and running both of the Winged Scarab, I was thinking, okay, maybe polished or gilded Harbinger Scarab, because I have the Harbinger nodes for Nemesis. I'm going to run the Harbinger nodes, of course. But I think might be worth... this one's actually the most questionable. So a gilded Harbinger Scarab is about 25 chaos for 4 additional Harbingers. Now the Winged is 70 to 80 chaos. About 50 more chaos for just 3 more Harbingers on the map, without an auspicious watchstone, but with all the Harbinger Atlas passives. That's a little questionable as to whether that's actually worth it. I went ahead and decided, you know what, I'll go ahead and do it. Now, what wasn't questionable to me is Winged Abyss Scarab, which is like also 100 chaos now. Rightfully so. In the Glennick Cairns Atlas passive, I think you literally double your Scarab. The monsters that spawn literally doubled multiplicatively. I don't get that passive, so I'm not getting nearly the value out of it. Abyss being really good as a standalone, it would still be a nice Scarab to have, a Winged Abyss Scarab, but the difference in cost and the value. Gilded would give me, all it would give me is an additional Abyss, which would be useful if I was only running 1, but because I have this Sextant, I already have 3, plus 1, so just the extra 2. Anyway, I cut my cost from 100 all the way down to like 2 by running polished Abyss. So I couldn't really justify doing the Winged Abyss as much as I kind of wanted to. I just can't justify it. So there you have it. That's what we're kind of set up with. And I want to give a disclaimer right now, right here. I'm going to go into the cost of the investment for this strategy. This is not a guide to this particular strategy. This is a suggestion on what you might want to do when you're rolling your maps, to roll your own sextants, so you have opportunities to do this sort of thing occasionally when the stars align. But this is not a guide on it. If you were to try and go out of your way and actually purchase everything here to do this strategy, A, I don't even think you could find all the materials on the trade website right now. But B, if you did, it would come out to be exorbitantly priced. 8 modded Nemesis maps, I don't even know if they exist on trade. I rolled on my own, I didn't have to buy any, but they probably don't even exist. And if they do, I guess, I guess you could roll a Nemesis map with 6 mods, then Beastcraft 2 more on there for about 50 chaos total. So I mean, you'd still be looking at least half an exalt of value there in each map here. But they didn't cost me half an exalt because they're just a natural byproduct of rolling a ton of maps. And by the way, not all of these maps were rolled. Some of these maps were found. And how did I find them? Off of unique monsters, unique bosses, beyond bosses. Drop them periodically. How do I know that? Well, if you go in here, obviously I chisel all of these maps, but you'll notice that a few of them, chisel, okay, not chiseled. This one has no chisel quality to it. 1, 2, okay, 3, that just came partially. 4, 5, 6. 6 out of the 10 maps I have here were simply found off the ground in a magic finding map when I was magic finding. A nice little bonus to running unique bosses drop corrupted items is you don't only get 6 links, you occasionally, very rarely, get maps like this. This is the perfect example of a map I found. And it's a shame I can't reroll the rare monster and divine that up, but anyway, a terrific value. This map is extremely valuable, and it just drops straight off of Beyond Boss. Think about it. So, you know, Beyond Bosses, of course they drop maps sometimes. Sometimes they drop a tower map. Yeah, I have it triple favored, so they periodically drop a tower map. I usually get at least a few of my tower maps per run drop from Beyond Bosses. They're notorious for dropping maps. And occasionally, those tower maps, because they're corrupted, they have a higher chance of rolling rare, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And they may roll rare, and they may just pre-brick into a higher tier. They may actually brick into unidentified. Who knows? But occasionally, they're going to brick into 8 modifiers. And occasionally, when they do that, one of those 8 modifiers is going to be Nemesis. So that's how I ultimately arrive at a map like this, and it's sweet. I love it. So I got to supplement some of my rolled maps with just essentially free maps that I got off of some of the Beyond bosses throughout the past week or so. I don't know how long it would actually take me to find 16 maps like this. It's hard to say, because actually once I reach like 16 and I'm starting to get more than that, I'll just start running them anyway. But I don't think it would take much more than like maybe 10 hours of farming to acquire 16 maps like this via just re-rolling a lot of maps and just the ones you find off the ground. Maybe about 10 hours of farming. That's kind of a lot of farming, but yeah. Anyway, that's that. So how about the startup cost? Well, Nemesis 4, if you were to search the website on any random unique watchstone, it's pretty crazy price right now. It's about 14 exalts, I think. 15 exalts maybe. Yeah, it's wild. So I went ahead and put in about half that value. Now, how do I justify that? Well, I didn't actually pay for the sextant. I rolled it. It's going to come up occasionally, you know, very rarely, whenever I'm just rolling my own stuff for my own runs and I'm not really spending a whole bunch of extra money on it. It's going to happen occasionally. So I got it. But you know, I want to be fair. I want to at least present a fairly reasonable take on this. One way you could look at this is that if I were to buy 4 Nemesis 3 pre-rolled watchstones for a total of 16, it would be around 6x or whatever. So look, I put 7x on there. Again, this is not a guide. This is not for you to replicate exactly what I'm doing, but this is just kind of show a fairly accurate representation of how much was actually invested into this. I'm kind of meeting the middle by calling it halfway up to the market price. This watchstone you can buy right now. I think it was like 4x or something like that. I rolled it myself. I could have sold it. I decided to keep it. I'm going to value it at about half the value of that for the investment cost. You know, it didn't really cost me 2x. It didn't really cost. I mean, it did probably cost me about 1.5 or 2x, because I'm rolling a few times to hit something like this that can sell or keep. So yeah, I think 2x is a fine measure for that. When I checked a little bit ago, and I didn't see a single one of these on the website of a 16 use Delirium unique watchstone. Any unique watchstone, by the way, not just Booming Populace, even Irresistible Temptation, Territories Unknown. I didn't find one. It didn't exist. I don't know why. I was kind of surprised. But actually, I'm pretty sure that Deli Mirror roll is not supremely valuable this season, because Delirium orbs, of course, the supply of Delirium orbs is higher this season than usual, because they dramatically buffed the drop rate. And the meta this season is not actually Nemesis 3 farming with Delirium orbs. It's magic finding in the tower with a regular map, meaning sometimes a Deli mirror spawns when people are magic finding. They just do it and they get a couple orbs. And so the marketplace is quite already fairly saturated with orbs. I don't think the orbs are particularly expensive this season. I have all these, and I've used some of them, but I'm sitting at a massive surplus right now because I farmed the tower map, magic finding, and I do a lot of Delirium, and I get a lot of Delirium orbs. So, I mean, it's not worth... that is the major factor as to how valuable that is. That and Cluster Jewels. The Cluster Jewels don't kind of lose a lot of their value after the beginning of the season. So, in my opinion, this Watchstone is realistically probably worth about 8 exalts. I'd say that if I completely discounted the Watchstone itself, what is the Sextant worth? In my mind, it's probably worth about 5 exalts. Just the Sextant, 4 or 5 exalts. So it is a valuable Sextant. You know, it obviously is very useful. It puts a lot of monsters on the map. It's one of the best in the game. Still, we'll say 8 exalt. But for me, I rolled it myself, so I'm half pricing it. 4 exalts, that's where I got that. The Misinformation I did buy. So, from a justifiable standpoint, I need to calculate the full price on this one. I bought them all. I bought both of these, and for about 16 uses, the total will be about 5 exalts, plus 1 to roll them. So I budgeted an extra exalt in to roll them. I think a Misinformation is like 3.5 exalts for 12 uses. So yeah, it's like 5 uses for 16, or 5 exalts for 16 uses, and yeah, something like that. I'm also running the twins here, so I do need to budget a little bit more than usual for the prophecy. So that's where the final exalt comes from, to cover the cost of that. So the cost of everything here is covered. You may disagree with how I sort of marketed these at half price, but again, in my mind, it was even less invested because I just had them rolled and I saved them. Instead of selling them, I saved them. And I don't lose money rolling Maven, Sextant, Watch. I don't really lose money doing it. So, if anything, they're effectively free for me. Again, highly recommend rolling your own Watchstones, especially as the market prices go up and the supply goes down, the demand gets higher. Good opportunity to roll your own. Again, I sold a booming Populace Nemesis 4 for 20 exalted orbs. I've sold... What else have I sold? Just like Legion, 16 uses of Legion on a random Watchstone, like 3 or 4x. It's crazy. Like, there's a whole bunch of different things. Like even like rolling Alva missions on the Watchstones is still worth something. Yeah, it's crazy. So I highly recommend you roll your own, and I highly recommend you hold maps back like this to give yourself an opportunity to have a little bit of fun. So that is the value in there. Looks like it's about 43 exalts. Mysteriously went up. 43 exalts. How much is that per map? 43 divided by 16. About 2.68. 2.68. 2.5 to 3 exalts per map. It's kind of a lot. Not the most I've ever invested, but yeah, kind of a lot. By the way, in case you're curious, I estimated there's 3 ways I could have juiced this harder than I did. Only about 3. This is almost maximum levels of juice here. But one thing I could have done is, these are not the 4 best Watchstones I could run. The 4 juiciest Watchstones you can run is Misinformation, Booming Populace, Irresistible Temptation, and Territories Unknown. That's the suffix one. That is this one right here. Adds an additional random suffix. Now, why is that juicier? Because this still has 4% increased effective modifiers, 5% with Secrets of the Stone. But if you look here, again, this giving 4% or 5% with Secrets of the Stone. A random suffix gives me 4 to 6% pack size and 16%, 10 to 16% quantity, 6 to 9% rarity on the map. That's way more than 5% increase modifiers, unique modifiers on maps. For example, 40% pack size, like right here. This is my average is like 40%. 40% pack size. 5% increased effective modifiers on unique items to a 40% pack size map is an extra 2% pack size. Exactly. Well, you can see that Territories Unknown will give me at a minimum 4% more pack size. Actually, more than that with Secrets of the Stone. It would be 5%. It would be 4 to 6. Or 5 to 7 in this case. 5 to 7%. And so that is markedly higher. And if you're also looking at the quantity and the rarity increase, I estimate that a Territories Unknown is that the unique Watchstones, Irresistible Temptation, and Territories Unknown are essentially about double or almost triple, in some, depending on the role, between double and triple the value of the meta, which is 4% increased effective modifiers on unique, non-unique maps as a suffix. That's why I think you should always use those unique Watchstones. with the added bonus of being able to buy them pre-rolled with at least, so you get at least two you get at least two sextants of your choosing, because you can just buy them pre-rolled. Now, obviously, that does amount to a little bit more investment, and it does mean you have to keep buying watchstones. You can't just have your own. But juxtapose that with having your own watchstones, which you never have to buy, but you always have to roll. Rolling the watchstones is time consuming and annoying as well. And you can't, presumably you're not going to be as picky when you're rolling them, so you're not going to get as good as sextants. You're not going to have, like, I usually roll with this sextant, and unique monsters drop corrupted items. I get a lot of extra stuff for that. So to me, it's hands down a better bet. So that's one way I could have a juicier map, is if I had the suffix roll. That would have made me have to invest 14 exalts into it, and I'm not doing it. So there's that. Another way I could have added more juice is Abyss. Could have ran Winged Abyss Scarabs. I already went into detail about why I chose not to do that. That would have been another way. And the last way, the third and final way I could have juiced this up harder, is instead of increased item quantity, strongboxes, monsters, I could have rolled a Beyond Sextant. Beyond Sextant would have been more. It would have been more juice for me. I suppose as a bonus, these maps here could also have Beyond on them as an affix, but then the map would be basically priceless, and I've actually never even seen that before. I've literally never seen a map that had both Nemesis and Beyond on it with 8 mods corrupted like that. Now, you can get it by you can get it actually somewhat easily by, well, here for example, I still have these here. I could take these maps right here, a map like this, and I could just beastcraft 2 more mods on it. Voila, I'd have it there. So I mean, you could do it, but for now, no. So that's it. That's the investment. And yeah, I'm gonna say it one last time. This is not a guide. This is more of an entertainment video. It's just a surprise video. I'm gonna go ahead and run these 16 maps. I'm curious to see what kind of currency per hour I make, given how I estimated the costs. Yeah, let's get ready to do this. One moment. Okay, I am resetting excellence. Again, whatever the number is, we're going to minus 43 exalted orbs to come up with the total. Then that divided by the time it took. This will probably take about 3 hours, because this is very similar to part 2, which took 3 hours. It will actually take a little longer than 3 hours, because I'm going to have more stuff to pick up, I think. But yeah, 3 hours is pretty close. Pretty close.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Maybe 3.5. Put these away. Map 1 is the juiciest of them all. A whopping 45% pack size, 139% quantity. This is going to be a monstrous map. And, oh, kind of need those scarabs, don't I? We are going to run Alva. Hey, thanks for the compliment there. I will be putting this on YouTube, at least as a partial video. Alright, this is almost maximum juice. You can't juice the map up much harder than this. Again, this is about a 2.5x investment per map. You know, it's really interesting to combine Magic Find and Nemesis 3. There is some synergy there, but they also kind of work against each other in certain ways. One way they work against each other, for example, is the fact that I'm running Alva. Well, putting Alva in the map actually removes some Scourge monsters. It's not a huge amount, but it is a small portion of Scourge monsters. Strongbox and Harbingers, despite what some people may say, neither of those really removes hardly anything. But I've done Alva enough to know that Scourge monsters for about a quarter of the screen are removed from there. And so they do take a little bit of hit on the magic find there. But I think it's going to be absolutely worth it for the Nemesis 4 side of things. Obviously, a Deli Orb is very beneficial to both Magic Find, or sorry, Delirium Mirror in this case. That's good for Magic Find and Nemesis 4. Pack size is the ultimate synergy between Nemesis 4 and Magic Find. But part of the reason it didn't work out so well before is because to roll my Nemesis maps, I had to settle for less pack size, and it hurt the Magic Find. It was just like, so yeah, this is going to be a very rare case where I think it's going to go really well on both sides. In fact, I'm really anxious to see just how many nurse cards I get out of this, and how many Exalted Orbs I get, and which one of those two drops more often. I'm curious. I'm anticipating somewhere around 1 Exalt and 1 nurse card per map, and it's going to be something like a little race to see which one pulls ahead on that. I don't know what the answer is, but it'll be cool to see. I believe this is all set and ready to go. I'm having second thoughts, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and press it. Okay, I procced Bountiful Traps. So one big assertion that a lot of people like to make, that they think, oh crap, I put the wrong one. Oh, well. A lot of people seem to think that too many strong boxes on your map will brick your Scourge realm. That's not true from what I've found. The answer to that is Monstrous Treasure. Monstrous Treasure bricks the Scourge realm, not too many Scourge monsters. Even Bountiful Traps with a winged Strongbox Scarab, Ambush Scarab, even that doesn't hurt the Scourge realm hardly at all. And you're going to see, I mean, we'll find out together, obviously. Last snapshot. Okay, I'm good to go. Let's do this. I'll check the time. 12:15 local time. Okay, 12:15 local time. There's my trusty Deli mirror. Okay, again, this is actually pretty exciting stuff because I'm going to really be stretching myself to try and actually finish. Oh wow, the nurse card dropped in like the first 2 seconds of the map. To successfully clear a whole Deli mirror on this map is going to be really hard, but something is helping me here that I don't usually have, and that is Abyss. When Abyss is moving on the map, it freezes the Deli mirror. Also, when I'm doing Alva, it freezes the Deli mirror, but the fact that I gotta do Alva is actually gonna hurt my time because I have to actually, look at the interface, I have to click a couple things. I'm likely to lose my Rampage buff when I'm doing that. The most annoying part of doing Alva Temples is keeping Rampage buff up, actually, because I have it on my weapon swap, so I really don't want to lose it. Well, I actually went out of that prematurely. It's questionable as to whether I should really stick around and kill King Harbingers or not. It may take a little bit too much time. Oh no, Alva, punk, go. See, I had a trip up on the interface there, so I had my interface open and I clicked to select it in, but at the same time I clicked to open the portal, damn headhunter teleport debuff went off, and so I lost. I guess I lost the interface at the exact same time. Actually, I lost some critical time right there. It's unbelievable how critical every second counts when you're running a map like this. It will probably mean I don't complete the mirror, just losing that little bit of time there. See, I mean, this is just, I'm now running backwards to the mirror, and it's just not good. It's just not good. I'm gonna find out firsthand if the abysses can, the abyss freezing the Deli mirror can actually save me here. It may work. I'm kind of reliant on good abyss RNG too, because abysses have a tendency to run backwards on the map, and on the tower that can be extremely detrimental because it may force me to run all the way around the bend. It'll be super problematic. We'll see. See, this one's going backwards, but I don't think it's going to run like all the way around the map.
Beauty will grow from your remains.
Okay. I'm really hoping this doesn't just keep going backwards. I don't know if the mirror is frozen when it stops there and spawning monsters. I think it is. I could be behind the mirror right now and I wouldn't even know, really. But it appears I'm still good. The third floor is the one where everything goes to hell usually, especially with this layout. This is a really bad layout. The nice thing is I've already done all the alvas. They're done. But I'm getting massively slowed down. I actually wasn't even able to clear that whole realm there. I'm gonna skip the Harbingers, I just don't have time to do them. Oh, this is juicy as hell right here. Oh, I could have died there. I was lagging too much too much screen lag. I couldn't even control my character for a second there. Oh, I almost forgot to do this. Yeah, I gotta go in here. The nice thing about Abyss is I can go in and out of the Scourge Realm. Okay, we made it through the third floor. 16 Scourge buffs. That's 16 Headhunter buff. Yeah, that's not enough. I need more than that. Okay, there's a death, so that's definitely gonna probably cost me. Pretty satisfied with how this first map goes. This map has very hard modifiers. It's got minus max res and stuff on it, so. Oh wow! I'm still in the weapon swap there. Yeah, this last floor is gonna be a real pain in the ass because it's hard for me to. Wow, the Deli mirror is still up. Hard for me to get the ball rolling with a map this hard. My God. Oh, I might be dead right now. I wouldn't even know it. So much lag. Okay, well, I mean, I did just get through all that. Wow, even I'm impressed I got through all that. I basically cleared this whole mirror. There's a tiny bit left to do up here. I don't usually see 7 rounds of stuff, so that's pretty cool. And I got stacked decks, which is nice. Now I need to make sure I clear the extra monsters in the Scourge Realm. Going in and out a little bit. I may have actually already done that. When I think about it. Okay, there's another reason to do Strongbox. So again, I had a lot of Strongboxes on this map. I had 9 plus 5 I think, from Mount of Treasure, plus 1 from the Sextant. I had at least 16 Strongboxes this map, and all the Scourge monsters were still there. I mean, I still had, like, all the maximum juice I could got out of that. Yeah, this was a lot of loot. You know, this was not actually as good as I hoped. I only got 1 nurse card. I know it seems silly to say, oh, I only got 1 nurse card this map. But, you know, I'm putting in almost 3 exalts per map. I mean, should be getting... Okay, there, the Deli mirror finally gave away. So, Abyss is pulling a lot of weight in terms of freezing the mirror. Wow, I got 85. 85 Simulacrum. I've never seen that many Simulacrum from the map before. Wow. Oh, I got a good cluster too. 85 Simulacrum's no joke. Those things are worth like almost 1 chaos apiece now. That's pretty cool. I mean, that basically pays for itself. Deli's just gone. Did they even get the reward for it? No. What? What? Okay. What? Okay. I guess this is my welcome back reward for disconnecting. Or game crashing. There it is. 3 exalted orbs in the same screen. That makes me feel a little better about losing the Deli orb and everything, or the delirium mirror. I should clear that, did I? No. Okay. And I'm dead. Exalted orb. About time. So another one of those. 2 or 3 maps. Oh, at the end of the ropes. Second exalted orb. Hey, cool. Alright, home stretch. Still way fewer nurse cards than I should have got.
My mana is gone.
Might have got lucky on the exalted orbs. I don't really know though. Get a magic. What? An exalted orb from the delirium encounter. Okay. Well, I got one here. I got one here. I just picked up another one there. Nice way to end the runs, I guess. Okay, we're back, and it is time to do the tally. That was a lot of fun. I gotta say, that reminded me of last season and the season before. Just mega juicing Glennick Cairns, Nemesis 3 and Nemesis 4. I was able to find, I believe, at least one exalted orb per map. Some maps drop 0, some maps drop 3. One map dropped 3 on the same screen. So, and that was where you saw the picture from, of course. Yeah, so let's go through here, and you see my entire dump tab is full. I'd actually open a second dump tab, which is also full, but between these two, everything is there, I believe. Let's double check. Let's see how long it took to do this. It took, let's see, I started at 12:15, yeah, about 4:15. I had a game crash at one point. I actually lost half of my delirium in a game crash. Fortunately, I did not mess up any of the prep work involved. I actually swapped out the watchstones when I should. I actually remembered to hit alpha missions every single time. So that was like the first time ever I actually didn't forget to do anything like that. The only sort of oops in this test was the game crashing on one map, you know, like map number 8 or something, and consequently I was able to finish the map, but I wasn't able to finish the Deli mirror. Much to my surprise and delight, I was highly successful at completing every map, with the exception of the one. Completing, actually there was another map I actually ran past the mirror and lost it because I went beyond it, so that was an oops too. But aside from, I think, those two maps, I really did complete basically every delirium mirror in full on the tower with no bonus atlas passives to extend the mirror and all that, which is definitely a challenge. Kudos to the abyss mechanic. Absolutely freezes the mirror, as well as alva, but alva doesn't make much difference. But I was, if you were able to watch some of what I did, you could see how I was kind of able to abuse the abyss and its, you know, crackling mechanic, and that whole time, basically the whole time it's doing that. I think even if you pause it, like if you run away and then you clear some stuff and then come back later and you don't lose the abyss, I think that whole time it freezes the Deli mirror, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it does, because I've tried to clear delirium mirrors like this before with no abyss or no breach or anything that freezes it, and I mean, it is just almost impossible. Like, you have to absolutely fly through the map to do that. But it was actually, it wasn't easy, but it was not quite as ridiculous to do. So yeah, that's kind of my hot take on doing delirium mirror with that much juice, as opposed to Deli orbs where you can more casually go about it. I got huge rewards from the delirium. I didn't get a skittering scarab or anything, but I got lots of Deli orbs. I got tons of simulacrum. Let's see how many simulacrum I got. I got 2 raw simulacrum, and I got 258, so almost 3 raw simulacrum out of that, which is way more than I get. That's like 3 times as many simulacrum as I get if I'm just running one Deli orb. So that's profound. That's great. Let's see how many exalted orbs I got. Yeah, exalted orbs. 18. Hallelujah. 18 and almost 19 if you count the Harbinger stuff. I don't think I got a full exalt in Harbinger shards. I think that's 19 Harbinger shards I got in 16 maps. So yeah, I got 18 raw exalts in 16 maps, more than 1 per map. My hope was to get 1 per map. Honestly, a little bit surprised that I managed to get that many. And the reason is because I only had 1 tier of beyond, like only 1, only on the atlas. I did not have beyond. I take that back. 4 of my maps did have beyond as a sextant, but only 4 of the 16. So that was really cool. Surprised, yeah. So that's no beyond on the atlas. That's no beyond on the atlas passives. That's no beyond on the map. That's no beyond on the sextants, with the exception of 4 maps, and it's no beyond on the Watchstones. So that was impressive to actually pull off that many exalts. I feel like I maybe got a little bit lucky. Where I did not get lucky, it's right here. This is a pitiful showing of nurse cards. Now, if I ran 16 maps with the Delirium, and that's it, like no Nemesis 3, no Alva, no... And half of them were like lower quantity, like 30 percentile, and half were higher quantity, 40 percentile. This is the kind of number I would expect. I would expect maybe 9 nurse cards in 16 maps. Because I get, on average, a nurse card every other map when I'm doing a minimal amount of juice. Just normal. So that's with gilded Scarabs, by the way. Gilded Divination Scarab. For this test, I used winged Divination Scarab. That is an extra 70% or something like that. If you do the math on it, it's like that's basically 70% more divination cards across the board compared to using a gilded one. It's about 70% more divination cards, and I had Delirium on every single map. Every single map was super high quantity, 40 percentile or more, which makes a massive difference. Like just having like a mix of low quantity and high quantity, to have every single map be 40% or more, 39% or more quantity is just super profound, and should have greatly increased the number of nurse cards I got on average. I was expecting at least 1 nurse card per map on average. If I had to just guess, wild guess, I would have guessed I would have got maybe 20 nurse cards in 16 maps, maybe 20 around there, based on everything I know about this farming. So at least 15 to 20 for sure, in the range of like 15 to 20. So to have only gotten 9 was just a massive slap in the face, and I can prove to you how screwed over I got, because I do this test all the time. I always look at how many Wretched cards I get, and it's always around, well, it averages to around 15 fewer, 15 times fewer Wretched cards is how many nurse cards I usually got. So you see I got 253 Wretched cards. I'll do that actually on here. 253 Wretched cards in 16 map. It's a good showing. Divided by 15. Oops, I accidentally double clicked. 253, I'm so used to clicking, I just click spam. Divided by 15 is 16.8. Yeah, so exactly like I figured. So what this basically means is I should have found 16 to 17 nurse cards in this test. So I'm not the least bit surprised at this number. I'm extremely surprised at the other number, only 9 nurse cards. I mean, that RNG is so unbelievably bad, it's like, it completely blows the other one out of the water. I made a previous video where I think it was part 2 on my tower farming, and I made, I only found, I think it was 5 nurse cards in 16 maps, and I should have found like 9 or 10, I think. So in that particular test, I only found, so I found about half, and it's happened again. Basically, I found about half as many nurse cards as I should have, in a greater quantity, which is just bizarre, absolutely bizarre. Let's go through and see. Let's actually see how much I got here. So this is 74x. 74x. This was a 4-hour run. 74, yeah, it looks like I made almost exactly 10x an hour, because if I do 74, I do 75, 75 minus 43. Oh, it's less than 10x an hour, my bad. Divided by 4, that's only 8x an hour. So, yeah. Not that great, actually. A bad showing. Now, let's say I would have gotten 17 nurse cards. So that would be just for fun, because that's about how many I should have gotten. 17 minus 9, that's 8 times 1.2 equals 9, about 10, about 10x more. If I take 85, 85 minus 43, so that would be more like 10x an hour. Yeah. I should have made 10x an hour. God, it's just almost cannot get above 10x an hour. I'm really looking forward to testing out Glennick Cairns in Nemesis 3 because I'm having a really hard time figuring out a farming method that really breaks that 10x an hour amount. I can pretty consistently get like 9 or 10, maybe 11x an hour doing relatively mild juicing on the tower magic finding, but to get beyond that, it's really hard. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I guess I'm a little bit disappointed with the results overall. I got one big item actually, which is counted in here. I got one Unnatural Instinct. It's on like second to last map. So that was, and that actually to be expected. I got two big items. I forgot. I got an Empower support as well, which is less than an X. So I might have done a little better than average actually on the sort of big hit items. Let's go through this list. See what we got. We got a lot of maps. Got 600, more than 600 orb scouring, 222 awakened sextants. That'll add up. A lot of orbs. I'll count the delirium orbs in a minute after this. Yeah, 11 veiled chaos. Jeez. 39 divine orbs. Without monsters drop corrupted items. Or corrupted monsters drop. Unique bosses drop corrupted items, what I meant to say. I got a few scarabs. Of course, doing delirium, it does spawn scarab rewards sometimes. I got a couple Aegis auras on the same map, actually. I got one raw ancient orb plus 4 that accumulated from shards from the Harbingers. Honestly, I don't think the winged Harbinger was worth it. Yeah. Delirium orbs. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I got 12 delirium orbs. Actually, I thought I got more than that. Apparently only 10 or 12, so a little less than 1 per map. But, you know, that still adds up to a decent amount. But really, the simulacrums, splinters, and really made out like a bandit on those. So, yeah. I hope that was entertaining for you. There's not much else to say on it. This is one particular style of map running that I do in the event that the stars line up like they did. Apparently it's actually not really much more lucrative than doing the other thing, but again, I did not pay for the sextants, with the exception of the Misinformation, and I only bought the orb there. I actually didn't pay for any of the sextants. I just kind of ran them like normal, and when I hit something really valuable, I saved it. So for me, it was actually worth doing, because the fact that I didn't have to pay for the Nemesis 4, the Delirium, or the Abyss, Extra Abyss, the fact that I didn't pay for any of those sextants outright means I made more like 15x an hour on this particular test. But that's not replicable for anyone. Again, you know, I keep saying it over and over. I don't want anyone to get the wrong message that I made like 15x an hour and you can too doing this. No, it's a very specific set of circumstances lined up a certain way to make that happen. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you find it entertaining? Sorry that this video is definitely more geared towards you know, the diehard mega juicing crowd. It's something I like to do. I definitely like making content for that as well. But anyway, yeah, you guys take care. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you thought of this particular video. If you like this kind of thing, if you're looking forward to seeing, you know, more like insane juicing tests, or if you prefer things to be a little bit scaled back. I am curious what you guys think on that. So we'll see you around. Thanks again.